Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O, I ain't come to play with you. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I got.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
Come on now, let's go!
Yellow, I'm going!
Mike, watch the curl, watch the curl!
Now a handoff looking right. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, and it's third down.
That's 180! 53, Mike, 53! Here we go.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
At the 31-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. And a give this time to the tailback. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Now, so much for picking it up on the ground on third down. Third play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here that if you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up first and 10 at the 20. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Gets this one to Hill. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync. stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
53.
To throw again on second down. Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 41. Play action. Now it's Carr. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
First down, Swift. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Foster Moreau, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs, so you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up third and
Yellow.
I hope you brought your left because I'm about to take you to school.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 44-yard line. Mahomes now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10.
Mike 53.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. That's good for 28 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Your trick is here.
he was brought down by Carl Joseph. 1-yard gain. Brings up second and
This will probably be the last play of the quarter. 7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter from Arrowhead. It's the Chiefs in possession as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go.
Motion.
I don't need to.
Mike 55. Check.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. And it's caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll come out in the pistol.
53. Mike 53. Let's go.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the up. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Offensively, pretty effective option play there for the score.
It certainly was, and it appeared to me that the defense overshifted and overplayed the trail back, the pitch man, and almost forgot about the quarterback. In fact, they did forget about the quarterback, and he turned it into a touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking deep for Gabriel. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll try the left side. Swift. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. On play action, it's Carr. He sets to fire deep. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent.
And this is caught. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Carr going to throw. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. 6-18. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Hey, 734.
Shotgun now for Carr. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over.
There's the 180.
Check the out. Check the out. Check the out. Hatchie.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Brought down at the 23-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 23-yard line.
the run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. They complete it to Hill. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down. Mahomes now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd and a couple, Mahomes. That is caught by Williams for a Chiefs touchdown.
We got 6 all day.
Damian Williams, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On play action, now Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Mahomes going to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Here's Mahomes to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL.
First and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Damian Wilson in on the stop.
Second and 10.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go, D.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the 44, Carr got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into a huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. From midfield, here's Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And some space here. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Butker now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Touchdown, baby.
Butker on for the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half.
Makes the score, Chiefs 42, Raiders 7. Harrison Butker.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
That's it, baby. We gonna work. Right now.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. To throw again on second down. Carr. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down. Carr now 9 of 17 through the air.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some.
They'll run on first down. Swift. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
On second and 15 now. Carr. That is caught inside the 5. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Down. 180. 50's the mic. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Here's Jacobs. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Hopkins with the extra point, and that will get him one closer. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Then they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Here we go.
Now Mahomes on the bootleg. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
It's 3rd down and 12 yards to go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
An ideal beginning of the drive there is they'll get 20 and a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Carr completes it. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down to Gabriel, middle of the field. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Carr now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Carr. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Ron Thornhill. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, Sunday, on Sunday, on Sunday, on Sunday.
Hey, check 24. Check 24.
They go play action here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
They go play fake. Mahomes. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's 4th down.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Double tight, double tight. Everyone's got 4 down.
On first down, Swift, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now a play fake. Carr. This is Gabriel out on the left side. 27 yards there, a first down. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw, and that'll be incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Carr going to go on 4th down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Troy Apke. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Now Mahomes. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Cleveland Farrell in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for...
And now here's another interception. Picked off around the 37. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? It's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 30. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Don't throw this way.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run it with Williams. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Again, it's Williams. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a second straight loss. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher looming. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Mahomes now to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Carr now on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
On 2nd down, Swift. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Throwing now is Carr. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 44-yard line.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do. Moves before you do.
Ready, ready. AT Gator.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Kansas City, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Oakland, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all You don't want smoke, dog. You don't
Yeah, call us dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See where this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard for your mom to your pop to the bees to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah.
You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want.
Yeah, I put so my frustration. I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. By the